In Chapter 8, we'll look at animation concepts. Animating objects and cameras in your scene can be a very effective tool for communicating to your viewer. However, it can also be a very non-productive process. There's a lot of elements that can cause problems when you get into long format animations, so it's important to make sure that you're animating something because it adds to the storyline of the production and not just because it's possible. We'll look at animating objects. This is probably the most efficient in terms of AVI compression, not necessarily in terms of the actual process of animation within 3ds Max. The reason why it can be very efficient in terms of AVI compression is because the entire visual frame is not moving. Only the certain animated objects are moving. Keep in mind that many codecs compress an animation by only displaying the pixels that change. Therefore, if you animate objects that move on the screen and your camera stays static, there will be fewer pixels changing from frame to frame. The other type of animation that we'll go into is camera animation. This can be difficult for several reasons. One of the main issues that you have with camera animation is that you have to keep in mind all of the different aspects of what it takes to communicate through a camera. As you fly your cameras through a scene or move it through a scene, you have to understand how you can convey your message through your animated camera without distracting the viewer by having too much motion in that camera. For example, if you're trying to give a point of view of a person walking down the street, you wouldn't want the camera to be flying around, spinning and whirling up in the air, or moving too fast. That would be very distracting and would take away from the final animation. Also keep in mind that the camera in 3ds Max has no peripheral vision unlike human vision, so you can't assume the viewer is going to anticipate where the camera is going to turn. You have to be much more careful when you create this type of animation.